Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Stony Baloney Tony coming at you with another video today, baked as a birthday cake as always. So, sorry for the lack of uploads for the past week. I've been kind of busy, doing my own shit, working on a few projects, this, that, and the other thing, fucking blah, 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 whatever. You aren't here to fucking hear me say I'm sorry. What you're here for is the fucking title of the video, to hear about the highest I've ever been in my goddamn life. And oh, boys, today, let me tell you, it is a fucking story, alright? This shit got intense. So, this story, I'm not exactly sure how old I was when this wait, what the fuck am I talking about? No, I was about 16 when this story happened, by the way. These stories, for legal reasons, are jokes, of course, But, I was about 16, about a year ago. And it was 420, right? And, 420, always a fucking poppin' time. Almost getting there, 420, 2020. You guys know what I'm talking about. But, so, it's 420, right? And me and the boys, we're gonna get fucking baked as shit, right? As we always do when it comes to this time of year. So, instead of just smoking weed, we thought, you know what? Fuck it. It would be a great idea to get baked as fuck off mushrooms, right? And so that's exactly what we did. I got off work, and me and the boys were sitting at the house, and I had one of my homies go and pick up the mushrooms. And after he got the mushrooms, they were taking them before I got home, like a bunch of fucking dweebs. Well, it's whatever, fucking jabroni asses. Yeah, I'm just fucking around. I love you guys. But we were all just kind of chilling, and I didn't take too many at first, okay? I only took like a cap and a half. But 20 minutes later, I was kind of like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I'm trying to trip balls tonight. It has been a while since I've had a good fucking trip, Sometimes you just wanna fucking trip balls, and this was the mood I was in. So I ended up taking about an eighth and a half, and that's already a lot. It's not too much, but it's definitely you're gonna fucking be tripping. Anybody who's tripped before, who isn't a fucking psychopath, will tell you that an eighth and a half is enough to get pretty fucking high off mushrooms. So I was sitting there, and I wasn't really feeling it for a little while, and I had looked on my phone. They take about 2 hours to kick in sometimes, because I wasn't, an experienced tripper at this point like I am now. Even now, I'm really not too much of an experienced tripper, but I'm more so experienced than I was about a year ago, right? And so I wasn't feeling anything for a really long time, and I'm not the type of guy who likes to mix substances, like, at all, but it had been a while since I was starting to feel these mushrooms. Like, I wasn't feeling them at all. I looked over at one of my buddies, and he was blasted off into another fucking dimension, I'm telling you. He said that he wasn't feeling it, but dude, the way that this dude was sitting, and the way he was looking, dude, his pupils were fucking huge. He was just sitting there, he wasn't talking, he was just fucking staring at everything. It was fucking great, it was amazing. But after about, I want to say, an hour and a half, I was like, I'm not feeling like shit. But one of my buddies, even he told me two things that I really don't like to hear when I'm tripping. He told me, first off, dude, your pupils are so fucking big that I don't even see the color in your eyes. All I see is straight fucking pupils. And I'm like, well, fuck you for telling me that, but thanks, I appreciate it. And at this point, I really wasn't feeling anything. Like, I wasn't feeling shit. When he told me that, I was like, yeah, bullshit, okay. And I didn't want to go look in the mirror because I was fucking lazy. But after that, I was like, you know what, fuck it, dude. It's 4:22. I'm also going to sit here and just smoke some weed. So I ended up taking 2 fat fucking dabs. Like, when I say fat, dude, I mean fucking huge. These were globbers, alright? Straight fucking globs. And the first one I took, yeah, I was feeling the weed, but I wasn't, like, feeling the mushrooms at all. Also, before I should say this, if you guys don't know the fucking, before I continue, I should say, if you guys don't know the fucking orange juice rule while you're fucking tripping, you're missing out, okay? It's fucking great. So the orange juice rule is like something in the citrus, I think, And like whenever you drink and you're tripping, not drink, but you drink the orange juice when you're tripping, and you fuck it, something like to do with the citrus or the vitamins in it. I don't exactly know what it is, but it will make your trip so much fucking harder. Like way more intense. I'm fucking telling you guys. And I had drinking literally like I want to say an entire carton of orange juice and some to myself. So I don't know what the fuck I was thinking when I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna take 2 dabs, because dabs will intensify the high. There's a lot of people who will tell you, oh, dude, when I'm tripping, I don't really feel the weed, you know? Bullshit. You might not feel the weed, but you're definitely gonna feel fucking higher off the mushrooms. I don't know what it is, but it will make your trip more fucking intense, at least in my experience. So after I had gotten done taking these 2 dabs, I remember I was sitting there playing Dragon Ball with one of my buddies, good buddy of mine, and I was like laying down in the couch, like this little fucking couch that we had in this shed, and I just remember I was like sunk down, and I was like, I don't feel entirely like I did, like 5 minutes ago. Something's off. I'm definitely tripping a little bit fucking harder than I was earlier. And then so I look over at one of my other buddies and I'm like, yo, dude, what time is it? And he told me it was like 9 o'clock or something. And I was like, I read somewhere that these mushrooms can take 2 hours to kick in sometime. It's been about 2 fucking hours now, like on the fucking dot. And then I remember from slouching, I just immediately sat up and I was like, oh, fuck, what have I gotten myself into? So I was tripping fucking balls this night, guys. So, like, I can't really, when you trip, it's hard to explain everything you saw and all that shit and the way you feel, just because it's hard for you even to comprehend it yourself when you're in that state. So when you sober up, it's even harder to go back and like actually fucking think about how you were feeling and what you saw and all that jazz. You can look back on a trip and try and see like what the message it taught you was or something like that, because the last time I tripped, it actually taught me some patience. And it was pretty good. It wasn't this trip. It was another trip I had a few weeks ago. But I remember I was fucked up. Like, I was more high than I ever was in my life. I remember I was sitting there playing fucking Dragon Ball with the boy. And then I'm like, dude, I fucking can't. And then I pressed the PS button just to go home. I remember looking at him and I'm like, dude, I fucking can't do this right now. I'm gonna go back into the house. And then, so before I go into the house, the other thing that I don't like being told when I'm fucking tripping is, the guy who I was telling you told me my pupils were dilated as fuck. He tells me, don't go look in the mirror. And literally, I just look at him. I can barely, I couldn't say anything because I was just so fucked up. But I want to just be like, fuck you, dude. Sorry if you guys hear the air conditioning, but literally I was just like, fuck you, dude. Or at least I wanted to say that, but I couldn't fucking speak human fucking language at this point. And I go back into the house and I just remember I was laying down and I was looking at the blinds, and this is the one thing I remember vividly. Like, you know how when you like put 2 of your fingers into like the fucking in between a couple of blinds and you like lift them up and it like, you know what the fuck I'm talking about, it like does the thing where it like, fuck, I can't, hopefully you understand what I'm talking about, but it looked like it was doing that shit and it was just like moving and it looked like it was making little black holes that were like fucking closing and opening and closing and opening, and it was the trippiest shit I ever saw. And I just remember laying down on the couch, like, fucking starting to take off my clothes. And I was about to get butt-ass fucking naked before I was able to, like, at least think in my mind, not a good idea, because I'm in this dude's living room. There are other people here who aren't tripping. They're just here to have a good fucking time. It would be really weird if I was just laying down on this fucking couch, butt-ass goddamn naked. So I was like, fuck that. I'm not going to do that shit. And I remember, this is something that mushrooms taught me on this experience. Not necessarily taught me, but just something I learned about mushrooms and psychedelics in general. So let's say you have the concept of time, whatever that is, you have it in your hand, right? Crumple that shit and throw it out the fucking window. On psychedelics, it doesn't exist. I'm fucking telling you. There's no such thing as a goddamn concept of time when you're fucking tripping that hard. Because I remember this vividly. I was laying down on the couch, and I was like, dude, this is fucking intense. It has to have been like 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I'm getting more sober as the minutes go by. It's been a while. I looked down at my fucking watch, and I didn't believe it, but it literally only 5 minutes had passed. 5 fucking minutes, and it had felt like fucking an hour. And I thought my watch was broken for a second. I was like, nah, bro, this shit can't be true. I pulled out my phone, and lo and behold, yeah, no, it's only been 5 fucking minutes. So this shit, I couldn't even fucking comprehend. I remember my other buddy who was tripping balls, the one I was talking about earlier, went inside and he passed out. He passed the fuck out. And I don't know if he passed out, but he was like laying down and he had like his eyes closed and he was rolling around a bit and shit on the other couch. And I was like, dude, do you want to watch Trailer Park Boys with me or something just to like fucking pass the time by? And he was like, yeah, sure. And then I just put it on, and he just kind of went back to doing what he was doing. But I remember looking at like the clock on the computer that I was watching Trailer Park Boys. I wasn't even watching fucking Trailer Park Boys. I was just watching the minutes go by on the fucking on the clock, dude. Like literally every minute that passed by, I was fucking celebrating because it was one more minute that I wasn't gonna be this fucking high. So I remember a couple of my other friends who were tripping come back in, and my one buddy, she's pretty fucking cool. She comes up to me and she's trying to talk to me, and no offense to her, but I just was not fucking having it, just because I wasn't being like a dick or anything. I just did not want to talk to anybody. I wanted to sit alone in my own fucking headspace for a little while until this goddamn trip just blew over. And yeah, that was pretty much it. She was talking to me for a little bit. She was like, yeah, no, I think those dabs actually really intensified the mushrooms, because she had taken a few herself, and then she wasn't feeling it until the dabs either. Most of the people weren't really, from what I remember. I could be fucking tripping, but from what I remember, it didn't really affect too many of us until those fucking dabs came in. But yeah, no, I remember I had sobered up a little bit. I went back outside into the shed, and I was just talking with another buddy, and we just had a great conversation about like the universe and how fucking large everything is, and how nothing makes sense, and it all makes sense at the same time, and how everything is just fucking beautiful. And yeah, that was just how the trip ended. So yeah, that's the story of the highest I've ever fucking been in my life. Real intense for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, help your boy out. This is definitely one of my more intense stories when it comes to psychedelics. And yeah, this has been your boy Stony Baloney Tony, baked as a birthday cake as always. Again, drop a like. Have a great night, boys, or day, or whatever. Deuces.